cloud and I won't come down. No one knows much of anything, but when the feast starts, what will you bring? 'Cause no one knows when the bells gon' ring.
Might need you to open this one.
I can probably do.
You probably can open it.
Yeah, let me.
No. You gotta be strong to open it. No offense, but
Hey,
you're not.
Dad, you have strong muscles. I have strong muscles.
No, you don't. Probably not. These are pretty slim Jims.
No.
This way.
Oh, wait, it's 50.
Yours. I want that to be a video.
It is a video.
Gathered stars who soared light into firmament, woven, bound eternal in symmetry, somehow a part of me. Angels.
Hello. Oh, I just started talking as my husband's vacuuming up. He is cutting his hair. His hair's been like long. So I texted my friends and they're like, what? Samuel's sad, which is my friend's boy, oldest boy. And I have a deer loaf, like a meatloaf, in the oven. And it's one that my friend, great friend that does them on Mondays that I've talked about in a previous video. She's like a neighbor. And so last night she texted and said they made so many and it's fully ready to be cooked, just needs to bake, and asked if we wanted it. Okay, I need to go show my husband what I'm thinking for his mustache. I want him to trim the edges off and be more flat mustache. My husband used to always have like a bald head in high school. So I was saying someday I want him to have a bald head again. And he's like, well, cut it off now. Your cheese stick is hot?
My candy is hot.
This is really old wood. Oh, wait. This wood is old wood that we pulled from out of the wall when we opened it up, which is what we're going to get trim. We're just doing MDF since it's cheaper.
Mom.
More trim for some windows. This is actually wood. And then we're going to add this to our... Oh, I love that one that I found. And it'll go up there. I need to finish painting. I did that like probably 2 years ago I started painting. Your construction guys. This used to be a coffee table. I loved it. Great old wood. And then I made it into like our actual coffee table that the espresso's on. So it went from like a coffee table in the living room to like a coffee table in the kitchen. Funny. But I still love it. I'm gonna make a bench out of it. This gorgeous beam. I don't know what we're gonna do with it. Potentially something for a stove hood. I don't know what to do with it, or I don't know. Speaking of nice beams, we have these and they're just totally trashed because they've been outside uncovered, but they're thick, man. They were at my parents' old house like 2 years ago and they were like gun range. It was behind it and we were like, oh, we really want those. They were so heavy to take, but we took them and we didn't know what we were gonna do with them, but it's just sat out in the weather and they already were really pungy. Like we weren't gonna be able to use all of them, but dang, we probably could have used some. So that does stink. What, honey? I love your toothpick. Oh, the chickens are back? See, like this one we can probably still use, and it's thick. Like, let me show you my hand. It's thick. Rainbow! Can you see it? Come here, boys. Thank you, Jesus. Oh.
Mommy, can you stop playing?
And remember about Noah's Ark, what you told Jet the other day? What's that mean? Is that God's promise? He'll never flood the earth again. That is who you are.
This is how we make chocolate chips. Mama, we're making chocolate chips.
Okay.
What a mystery, this harmony. Immaculate design. One with the divine. Immaculate design.
Grant's taking this workbench down that was made when we bought the house. I think it's 18 feet.
Threaded throughout every space, every soul. Formed before time. Immaculate design.
Why are you calling me?
Cuz, what's the elephant in the room? Did you freak out?
I was excited. Yeah, you should see my cartwheels.
So, what did they tell you?
Dylan just threw the ultrasound picture in my lap.
And then what did you do? Did he tell you? Last night there was an owl on my bike handle. Grant came out about 11 o'clock and there was a tiny owl. It was so tiny. He was speechless. He said he didn't know what to say. I heard the urgency in his voice, so I came running. I'm like, what? And when Grant looked, he took a photo of it. It looks bigger in the photo. When Grant Googled like baby owls, they had like fuzzy hair, and this one looked like a mature adult owl, but tiny. It was like the size of a book, I would say, or like Grant's hand. I was editing my video talking about how God can use anything, so I'm like, and I've asked God, is this anything or is this totally normal in the natural earthly? Not thinking into it. If it's something from God, he will make confirmation, and it can very easily be in the natural world that we're in. I have heard from my friend's husband that really is so into hunting that Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are the best hunting days to go out. Grant already knew that, but I did not. And so Grant already had prepared to go out, and that's why I'm going to the dump. This is gonna be funny. So that on Saturday it can just totally be rest and Grant can get out and hunt. There's 2 bucks that are out there. He's never after a buck, he's just after, he prefers a big doe for the meat, but I want a buck mounted on the wall. cameras never do it justice. Beautiful. I did electrical tape. Tried pulling it tight, but then it's pulling it up. It was quite dusty, so I should have done alcohol. That's what it told me to do online, and I just didn't do it. But I like the look of it. I wanted to do this for a while. And they also do white electrical tape. But I follow Jessica Stocks still on YouTube. And she just moved into a new house. Her windows are like white frame, but on this side you can see it's like just has like a thin black on the inside. It actually looks really nice. And I'm trying to like merge, I'm trying to add a little bit more modern elements to our house. I have to finish that in the opening. It was lath and plaster, so now we have a mix of like lath and plaster and drywall. We always have construction going on in the house everywhere, so that's just how it is. That's fine. I just finished the book of Esther and I loved it. I've never read that book. Where's my Bible? I thought it was on the couch. It was on my desk because I was editing last night. I was excited to read it because it's like a female. Today's reading was Ezra, and I'm not gonna share all my days of readings, but this was really good. It connected with Esther, which I really wanted to share about. What I loved about Esther is she was no perfect Christian or person. There was drinking, there was sex. What I wrote down in here, God restored their place in the land when the time was right. And that shows us that God can and will restore even the problems that we cause if it's His will. He can restore our mess ups like nothing even happened. And the huge takeaway from Ezra is God's love is steadfast and His love endures forever. God is constantly pursuing our hearts, and so is Satan. It's a constant, like all the time. And like growing up, I always thought that Christians, I had a weird view on Christians, and I'm still undoing and breaking it off, but that like Christians were perfect and like an expectation of perfection. And then like when a Christian would mess up, it really confused me. But God used like David and like literally like almost everyone, Paul, so many people in the Bible He would use and He would redeem. God is a God of restoration and redemption and freedom. And I have experienced that in my own life. Like He is so good and He's after every single person on this earth, and it's a gift. Our sins deserve death. Sin separates us from God. It's crazy. They were taking their daughters to be their wives for themselves and for their son. Like that is such sin. But the fasting, they're fasting in the Bible, they're fasting in Ezra, they were fasting in Esther. That's what I loved so much about Esther. And I'll add like where it's at in Esther, but it was like a group of her and her young women that went and fasted together, and they were fighting a spiritual battle. So they went, Esther was like in the kingdom, like she could go politically and fight it, she could go with money and fight it, but she knew this earthly realm that we're in here on earth wasn't the weapon she needed to fight. She needed to go to the spirit realm and go to God. And so that's so cool to me that she fasted like in a community of her close friends, and that she had friends close enough to fast on her behalf. And then in Ezra, they're fasting too. It's so scriptural, and it's so cool experiencing things in life today that is literally in the Bible. And I loved teach the law to anyone who does not know it. That was really beautiful. And it says appoint magistrates and judges. And I liked that it even said the word appoint, because just yesterday I was looking up on Google appoint versus anoint. I wasn't sure the differences there. Esther was favored. She was beautiful, but she was bold. She knew she had the authority over those problems, because we do have authority in Christ Jesus. I have encountered that in my own life again in the real world, in the spiritual realm. And it's crazy because I never even believed in the spiritual realm like before last year. God is sovereign over all. He's sovereign over the trees in the air. He's sovereign over the spiritual realm. He's sovereign over angels and demons. And if we encounter angels and demons, God has allowed it. And I just always go back to Ephesians 6. The spiritual realm it's a world. It's so real. I was understanding that she was being bold and like the way she was speaking, just going forth. But I'm like, am I reading that right? Because my comprehension is really bad, especially compared to my husband, but in general, or like my friends. And again, this is my first time reading them, so I thought she was being bold. I'm like, and I wanted to write that in my Bible, but I'm like, is this boldness? But then it's like, of course it is. The truck is totally full. I've never been to the landfill by myself. I need to look up where it's at because Grant just drives. A lot of the times I go with him because I think it's fun. But sometimes just him and the boys go. Super fun for him and the boys. Sometimes I throw the stuff in because it's fun. But sometimes Grant's just like, let me do it, just stay in the truck. Okay. It looked like the truck wasn't all the way shut. Fun and just different doing something like this by myself. Let's back this big old truck up. And Grant said, be careful backing up to it. I have no idea if I'm in the lines. Alright, let's go. Next to me, there's a little red truck with 2 girls. Voice note to my friend Emmeline. She's here on YouTube. Emmeline Mead, or Our Little Nest. She has 2 channels. And she's from New York. Just love her. She wanted to know more about the landfill if I was going to like look through. It's so stinky. And you probably can't hear me. But if I was going to look through the dump, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that made me laugh because I don't think that's a thing here and I would never want to climb in there. It's so gross. Now I'm in line with semi-trucks. Wait for the light to turn green and then I get to pull up. Okay, she's saying let's go. Let's go, girl. The owl comes back tonight. I'm just so grateful for this life. I think it several times a week that my husband allows me, like he is more than capable and he enjoys to, and he doesn't want me. He never asks me to do these different things, but I'm so grateful he allows me to. Like, he allows me to try to figure out house projects and tear down walls and tear down literal walls, like put holes in our wall, take down the whole wall. I did. Go buy drywall out at Lowe's and then come back and figure it out and it's not done right, but he allows me to use his tools. I don't know what it is, like not taking life too seriously and just like trying, and he can always do it obviously 10 times better. I don't look up things, how to do things on YouTube either, I just wing it. Is that Mitch? I thought that was Mitch. That's embarrassing. I just got really excited to say hi to Mitch. He lives right there. I'm in like the tiniest town ever. I don't even think there's a post office here. But my brother's friend lives here and there's so many nice old houses. The last time Grant was out here, there was a black widow spider in there. My mom wants me to get the memory card out, but I've never done that. She's only done that to check the activity. Is it in here? Oh, that's the battery. Oh, there we are. I can't express how calm, beautiful it is being out here. And I've just not been out this time of year. We'll get more used to it as we cut down trees and wood for our wood burner, because this is where we're getting our wood from. We cut down some trees earlier in the year, but it's just different with all these leaves, the colors, and the maze of going through the trees. Like, I love it every time we're out here, but this area is Grant's. The trees just falling from the sky. So beautiful. Wow. How is this real? God's creation, these colors. What's heaven gonna be like? This is so beautiful. Oh, these pears are heavy, but wow. They have wiped out the apples and pears I took out here. We have apple trees and pear trees. I take them out 2 different times or 3 different times. The last time it looked like they hadn't ate it. So it could be because the leaves are on the ground, but it looks like they're gone. That's really great. Eat up, Buttercup.
Yeah, I think it'd be right in that area is where they've been coming.
My mother is putting in the batteries in the memory card. I am looking for an antler because right over here, 2 deer were like, they're rutting? Yeah. They're getting after each other. Is that when they want to get the ladies pregnant, so they're fighting over a lady?
Yeah, they're fighting over who's
More dominant one? And so there's this one deer that has just 1 antler. The other one fell off, and it's like right here. And it got an amazing picture off of that, but I'm trying to find it. Tracks crossing my parents' road. That's so cool. My parents had a tornado in March, and so like a ton of their roof came off. Grant and I actually roofed it, mainly Grant, but I totally was up here helping the whole time as well. And now I need to measure my mom's chimney thanks it flew off. So that's what I'm doing. It's hard to say because it's like round. But I'm going a good old. Here's my dad. My parents' solar panels all lasted the tornado. Saying this house completely was gone. Oh, that window doorway is beautiful. The tornado that came through my parents' road in March, that house completely had to go. Their entire roof came off, closed in the trees. It was really sad. And it was like the only one on the road that was an old brick old home. We had to go to the grocery store to get a few things for a special dinner tonight that Grant wanted. I haven't made it in a long time, and he specifically wanted it, and I need coconut milk, and I don't have that at home. At the cow farm, they had a beautiful hutch for the longest time out on their front porch. It was like, would you ever be interested in selling that hutch? I eyed it for months and months and months. It was missing a piece of glass, and the other glass was broken, and so she gave it to me for 50 bucks, and it's like nice wood. It's beautiful. So now it's in our laundry room. I've been looking for a spice called cardamom for so long. I cannot find it. I've looked at a bunch of different stores. Yep, like a cinnamon, like an allspice type thing, but it's called cardamom. I'm gonna have to buy it on Amazon. Red. Honey just called me, my husband, and he on his way home. My ghee is going crazy on the stove, ready for peppers and onions. I'm not chopping this very prettily. Barrett just took some of my peppers to throw the chickens. Oh yeah, so nice.
Well, they supposed to be when it's Christmas, you can open them.
Ooh. You can blow it out.
We're gonna go back to the OG campus.
But we'll go back to that one sometime.